But Nasty Nestor was back on the mound for the Yankees yesterday, and an all-star had been out 2 months. So with the arrival of him back to the rotation soon, there was going to be someone who had to come out. Well, Herman is now out, okay? And one guy who is in the rotation and has surprisingly held it down, has been in there since opening day because the Yankees had a high-priced free agent pitcher who they signed in the winter who ended up getting injured, ended up having back issues, and missed about the first half of the season and is back now, but missed the first half. So because of that, that allowed Clarke Schmidt to get an opportunity to be the fifth man in the Yankees rotation this season. And of course, the free agent pitcher I'm talking about, who the Yankees signed in the winter, Carlos Rondon. Carlos Rondon, he's returned, and he, of course, out in Anaheim, it might have been like his third or fourth start, got touched up, all right, by the Anaheim Angels offense, and there was a Yankee fan in Anaheim who, when Rondon was being taken out of the game, a Yankee fan was heckling him, all right, letting him have it, and Rondon, as he was walking off the mound to the Yankee dugout, he blew a kiss at the fan, and it became this whole big thing. Oh, Carlos Rondon gets into it with a Yankee fan, and Yankee fans are already upset because the team is struggling. This guy was supposed to be here from the beginning of the season with his high-priced free agent contract. He wasn't able to pitch up until recently. He has not pitched well since he has been pitching, has had maybe about one really good start. Other ones have not been that great. And so Yankee fans are already on him, all right, already on him, all right. And just, all right, something I remember back to that was funny. 1995, the Yankees have Jack McDowell, Blackjack, who had just won the Cy Young Award in the American League, which means he was the best pitcher in the American League. In 1993, he won the award. Yankees get him in 95. It's exciting to have Jack McDowell, a former Cy Young, who had just won it on your team. And, of course, I've spoken about this 95 season a lot, very special. First time the Yankees were in the playoffs since 1981. And the first time I saw the Yankees in the playoffs growing up as a young Yankee fan. And, yeah, Jack McDowell was a member of the Yankees in 95. All right, another guy who, all right, you're a former Cy Young. It's a big deal to have you, a lot of expectations. First half of the year, he did not pitch well. There was one game, I believe it was in July. He got taken off the mound by Buck Showalter. He did not pitch well, had not pitched well the whole year. Yankee fans were booing him as he came off the mound, and Blackjack really did something to get the fans stirred up. He flipped them off, gave the Yankee Stadium crowd a middle finger. All right, and of course, next day, back page, the whole city. This is when there was the papers was everywhere. You went, every newsstand, it was the paper, and big headlines, Blackjack and all this. But you know what? He ended up pitching very well after that, all right? And the Yankee fans were loving him, okay? The next game, I believe, he pitched at Yankee Stadium. He pitched well, and the Yankee fans were applauding him. All these fans want to see you do is win. It's play well. It's play well, all right? The fans boo these players because they want to cheer them, and they're mad because they can't go crazy for them, so they boo them, all right? And so when Blackjack pitched well, no one cared that he flipped off everybody. Everybody was happy, all right? And Jack McDowell, all right, ironically, he was on the mound and gave up that fateful pitch at the end of the season in 95 to Edgar Martinez, where Edgar Martinez hit the game-winning two-run double as Ken Griffey Jr. came sprinting from first base, and he slid home. And I've told you all again that sent me into just a day of depression the next day, all right? On Columbus Day, no school. It was heartbreaking. So, Blackjack McDowell. But anyhow, Rondon is on the mound for the Yankees today against Houston. All right, so here's an opportunity for him to get on the good side of Yankee fans, because if he pitches well and the Yankees win and get this third win in 4 games against Houston right now, with every game being so important, Yankee fans will give him a standing ovation, I guarantee, if he ever went out there today and threw a gem. All right, so, but Clarke Schmidt, he is the pitcher who, from the beginning of the season, has been in the rotation, because first Rondon was out, and it seemed like somebody was going to have to come out with now Mr. Cortez coming back. All right, but Herman is the odd man out. He's gone. He's been exiled. Clarke Schmidt, I remember talking to some Yankee fan friends of mine when the year was starting, and they were like, why is Clarke Schmidt in the rotation? Like, are you kidding me? Like, we got Clarke Schmidt starting for us? Well, Clarke Schmidt has pitched very well, and he pitched the opening game of this series on Thursday night. The Yankees got the win. He got the Yankees off to a very good start in this series. Unfortunately for him, he was not credited with the win. He left the game with the lead, but the bullpen Yankee reliever Wandy Peralta, who's been very good, he came in. All right, the Yankees took Clarke Schmidt out to bring in Wandy Peralta, a lefty, to have him face a really good all-star left-handed hitter, Cal Tucker. And Cal Tucker promptly hit a home run off of Wandy, which tied the game. So Clarke Schmidt was no longer the pitcher of record to get the win. The Yankees did win that game, though. And yesterday, Clarke Schmidt spoke to your boy.
Yeah. I think, this obviously has been a really good process to, it's, you got to constantly make adjustments and stuff like that. My roles were changing a lot early on in my career. There's kind of some mentality changes going from the bullpen to starting, and so it's been really good to be, consistently in the rotation and kind of doing my thing and do what I did coming up and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm in a really good routine right now and stuff like that. And just really good spot mentally and stuff. And I think, obviously there's a lot of ups and downs in a major league career, and you learn a lot from that. And so I think there's been a lot of good takeaways from early on in my failures, and being able to learn from my mistakes and continue to grow as a big league pitcher.
Yeah, and you mentioned mentally, that's one thing that always fascinates me about pitchers is when you're young in the game, you are at your lowest in terms of just experience and your stuff, and you see a lot of young pitchers, they struggle at first because it's their first time in the big leagues, right? Every rookie player in any sport is going to have their struggles. So, but, when you're pitching and guys are hitting you hard, how do you keep it together mentally where you don't fall apart and you still keep that confidence, and then eventually you're able to break through like how you're doing now?
Yeah, I think this is a game of failure. Is that's the number one thing, and I think you have to understand that. And there's a lot of ups and downs in this game, and I think continuing to stay just kind of constant and level-headed is the number one thing, and never get too high, never get too low. I think it's easy to kind of reflect on the bad outings or even the good ones and kind of get tied too much emotion to it. So for me, it's kind of just continuing to put the work in, and I'm not as results oriented as I think that the key to having the right mindset is not being super result oriented and just going out there and doing your preparation and doing your work, and then whatever happens, and going out there and just trying to compete. So for me, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't really think I try to avoid putting too much emotion on it, and just going out there and just continuing to, when it's good, when it's bad sometimes, and just continue to be confident and trust my stuff and the work that I put in.
Is there maybe one person or so who maybe might be your biggest influence since you've been in the big leagues?
Yeah, I think there's just a culmination of guys. There's a lot of relationships that you create, and you kind of have brotherly relationships with these guys, and it becomes a family. And I say Garrett's helped me out a lot. I think Sevy's helped me out a lot. Those two really kind of stick out to me. Just kind of being in the rotation with them and spending a lot of time with them. And, they've helped me, even Nestor too. Like, there's just things that you learn and you pick up on, and it's good to be able to be in a rotation with these guys.
I have two more for you. Just college. How was it for you pitching in the SEC, South Carolina? Just how was that experience?
Yeah, I loved it. I think I wouldn't have, if I could go back and pick a school again, I would have picked the same school. Like, my college experience was great, and being in the SEC, it's kind of prepared me for in moments like this. Not just like the competition, but the how big the stage is in the SEC, and it's it's like if you're pitching a Friday night there, you're playing a lot of major league guys. So that's definitely set me up here, and then also like the media and then everything about it, like just how big each game is, and there's some pressure at every moment there. So it was really good, and obviously I love my experience, so it was a lot of fun.
My last one for you. On Thursday, you had the start for the first game of the series. You pitched very well. You got the team off to a great start. The bullpen blew your lead, but so you would have got the win.
Yeah.
But just what was it like for you just to get that first start on Thursday and to pitch the way you did?
Yeah, I think it's obviously these are big games for us right now. We're in a really big stretch for us, and to be able to go out there and face a good team like this and have good results is obviously it's a good feeling. And every time I go out there, I'm just trying to give my team a chance to win and go out there and compete. And so it was good to be able to go out there and do that again on another night. And obviously it's great when you're playing teams like this in the Bronx. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy in the crowd. So I enjoy those moments, man. It feels, sometimes the brighter the lights, the more enjoyable it is out there. So obviously it was a big win for us, and hopefully we come away with the series win.
No doubt. Clarke Schmidt, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. It was nice meeting you.
You too, man. All right, folks. So that is young Yankee pitcher Clarke Schmidt, and he's been very impressive this season. So I give him a lot of credit, and he's definitely been very nice to watch his development. So for the Yankees standpoint, hopefully he can continue to pitch well and help the Yankees stay alive in this playoff race. All right, and we want to say hello and good early afternoon to our guy, Dave from Harlem, Dave German, all right, the outstanding sports historian. And I was telling you all about how outstanding Domingo Germán was in 2019, and then he got suspended and gone, got a 80-game suspension. And the Yankees in 2019, they had an awesome team, a team that could have won the World Series. It was one of their most strongest teams ever in terms of lineup, all right? Just really quickly, I'm going to tell you what lineup. So they had Big G, Giancarlo Stanton, who just 2 years prior, in 2017, hit 59 home runs for the Miami Marlins, which at the time, if you took away all of the ball players who have been linked to steroids, all right, take all of them out, all right? We're talking Bonds, McGuire, Sosa. You take those guys out, Giancarlo Stanton, the only guy that had hit more home runs in a single season in the history of the game was Babe Ruth and Roger Maris, all right, in 2017, okay? So this is 2019, and the Yankees, by the way, they traded for Stanton right after that season. For those who say that Yankee management and ownership, they don't go out there and get the big guys, and they don't spend money, and they don't care, and all this other nonsense, okay? So they had Big G, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, a guy who was bashing 30 home runs from the catcher position, who also got ran out of town by Yankee fans, and I'm going to get to him in a minute. They had Didi Gregorius at shortstop, who was an excellent Yankee. He's the first shortstop who immediately replaced Derek Jeter. He hit so well that Yankee fans love Jeter, of course, but Didi played so well, Yankee fans did not even miss Jeter because Didi was that good, okay? And at second base, they had Gleyber Torres, who in 2019 had his best season, hit 38 home runs, and made the All-Star team. Okay. At third base, they had Gio Gio Urshela. He was the one guy who was not necessarily an all-star, but very good hitter. First base, of course, they had Luke Voigt, was a master at first base. They also traded for Encarnacion, all right, Edwin Encarnacion, who hit 30-something home runs that year, and Yankees traded for him, and they got him from the White Sox, I believe, and he was having a monster year. They had him, so they had just all stars everywhere, just an incredible lineup. And Domingo Herman, who had a great season, and Dave from Harlem sent me this note, and not only can I talking about how well Herman pitched, but and I had forgotten exactly how well, because Dave says in 2019 Domingo Herman had the best winning percentage in baseball at 818 when he, so that's 818 was his win percentage, when he was suspended in September for the postseason. His absence might have cost the Yankees winning the 2019 American League pennant, as his pitching was missed in the ALCS loss to who else? The Astros. Okay. So, yeah. So, and once again, Herman is exiled, and who knows if we'll see him again. Okay.